My review of the Who album Tommy. It was released in 1969 and produced by Kit Lambert. So this album, I believe I got it like winter 2008. I don't really remember going to the store and buying it. I remember like riding home from the library, I think, like looking at it, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I can't remember where I got it, but I know I had gone to town with my mom and went to a store where I got this, and then went to the library and I think a few other places. But I remember like coming back from the library, like looking at the case of it and stuff. That was a CD version. This vinyl copy I picked up a few years ago at the record store. See, this album, by the time I got this, I had Endless Wire, I had Who's Next, and I had Who Are You? And I don't think I had any other ones. I might have had a quick one. But this, I was already pretty into the albums I had by these guys, and I got into this album really quick. I just remember like putting it on, and I had, like, I kind of knew the story of it being a rock opera and stuff. I'd read some reviews and things like that, but I didn't like pick up the story the first time I listened to it. But I was just like immediately captured by the music, and just really into it just from that alone. And that's kind of where I still stand with this album, I guess. The stories never really like mattered a whole lot to me. It's kind of, I mean, not that I really have any problem with the story or anything like that. It's just kind of a weird, kind of funny, silly story. I haven't seen the movie. Just I've never really had the desire to like seek it out, but maybe someday I will. The album itself, though, just always loved this album. The band plays great on here. I think that pretty much all the guys like seem to be reaching their peak, or at least like, I don't know, close to it. Moon especially, like his playing on this album and the next album is probably like the peak Keith Moon playing, I feel like. Roger finally like comes into his own as a vocalist on this album, and you get his like 70s sound. So this is kind of the beginning of 70s Who for me, even though it came out in 1969. So the album itself begins with Overture, kind of an instrumental part, and I've always liked it. I think just their playing's really cool on it. I like how they go through the different, some different parts of different songs, and that's kind of something that I like how Townsend does in these rock operas, where he just like brings up different themes and different parts of songs and puts them in other songs. Then it goes into It's a Boy, which is kind of a really short story song, but it still just sounds great. That's the thing about this album, is even like the short, like 30-second story songs just sound great. Then Amazing Journey, which is a great song, huge highlight. Sparks, another instrumental that's really cool. The Hawker, Eyesight to the Blind, is I think the only cover on here. It's a Sonny Boy Williams song, and it fits in like perfectly with the album. Christmas, the next track, another great one. Just a really catchy song. The band's like playing on it's great. I'm not really like going to go into that because I'd be saying that for like every album or every song, like how great their playing is. But I've always really loved the drumming on Christmas. Next track, Cousin Kevin, is I think one of two Entwistle songs on here. Really kind of disturbing lyrically, but really catchy song for like how crazy the lyrics are. But that one, another highlight. I've always really liked that. The Acid Queen, next track, sung by Townsend, great vocal. Really love the drums on this track as well. That's always been a highlight for me. The next track, Underture, is really kind of my only problem with this album, and it's really just that it's a long instrumental. How long is it? It's like 9 minutes and 59 seconds. And it's just really like, I don't find it like necessary, I feel like, compared to the rest of the stuff. There's not really anything wrong with it. I think the band plays great on it. Moon's drumming especially kind of keeps me entertained throughout. But it's easily my least favorite thing on the album, and it's something that like I would probably skip if I was just like casually going through and listening to the songs I like. Then you have Do You Think It's Alright, which is a really short story song, but it's like insanely catchy. And that goes into Fiddle About, which I believe is another Entwistle song. And probably the weirdest song on the album, like lyrically and what it's dealing with. Pretty disturbing, but it's it's like a strangely catchy song. That said, so yeah, that one, it's just, I don't know, that's a weird track. It's kind of lyrically definitely uncomfortable, but it's weirdly catchy. Next you have Pinball Wizard, which is the big hit off this album that I think everybody knows. Great song, I'm a little bit tired of it. I wasn't that familiar with it like going into this album, so like I just over listened that song on my own. It wasn't like a radio made me sick of that song. I did that to myself. Next, there's A Doctor I've found, which is another one of the short story songs that's pretty good. Go to the Mirror is really cool. I think it's when, like, basically the song where they cure Tommy in the story. Smash the Mirror, that actually might be when they cure him. I don't know. I don't know the story of this. It's kind of really weird. Then you have Sensation, which is another really great song. I really like Daltrey's vocal on that one. Miracle Cure is 11 seconds, but it's catchy. Sally Simpson, the next track, another highlight for me. I've always really liked this song, except for like the word, or like one of the verses in the song is he leapt up on the rostrum, or she leapt up on the rostrum, and I've always just thought that rostrum was an awkward song, or an awkward word to put in a song. Sorry, I can't talk right. But yeah, that's a highlight. I always liked that one. Next, I'm Free, which I was familiar with that track going into this album from some of the live DVDs I had, and I've always liked that. Then you have Welcome, which is kind of Tommy like welcoming the people to his camp that he makes. And I really like that one too. It's this weird kind of almost churchy sounding song. Then you have Tommy's Holiday Camp, which is credited to Keith Moon, but I think Townsend actually wrote the song and he just credited it to Keith because Keith came up with the idea of Tommy having a holiday camp. And he would sing it live sometimes. I think here it's sung by Pete, but it's just a short little kind of entertaining song. Then you have We're Not Gonna Take It to close the album, a 7-minute song that goes into the like See Me, Feel Me theme that kind of goes throughout the album. And I think it's a really great way to close the album. So yeah, Tommy, I don't know, it's kind of weird talking about the tracks on this album because they're so like connected to the story, and there's so many short little like 30-second songs that just kind of move the plot forward. But it's just a really great album, one that like you don't really need to know the story to. The music's just great. Pretty much all the songs are catchy, even if they're short little story songs. So yeah, this album, I don't think I would say it's my favorite Who album, but it's got to be close. Just a great album all the way through. Underture, but I mean that's such a minor complaint that it really, I don't know, like it's barely a complaint at all. Underture's like it's fine. It's maybe a little long. So yeah, can't recommend this album highly enough. If you haven't heard it, definitely check it out.